What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Two Blues in a Pod. I'm Pablo,
I'm Guillermo.
and this time we've got Leicester City versus Chelsea match review. It was Chelsea, the victors, 2-1 away at the King Power Stadium. We had Nicholas Jackson scoring at minute 15,
Mhm.
Fernandez doubling our lead at minute 75, and Jordan Ayew consolation goal last minute penalty to make it 2-1. Our
Yeah.
lineup was the pretty much the usual. Something that we didn't expect. We thought it was going to be a lot different this time, just because of international break and potential injuries. But one thing we didn't know was that Reece James was going to be injured. More on that later.
Mm.
But we started out with Robert Sanchez and stick in between the sticks, Cucurella as the left back, Benoit Badiashile and Colwell center back pairing,
Mhm.
Wesley Fofana at right back because apparently Malagusta was ill, so he
Mhm.
couldn't replace Reece James. We had Moises Caicedo, and then according to FotMob, we played with a 4-1-4-1, but it was probably I guess that's true in attack, and since we were attacking most of the game, it's probably very true. And so our four behind the striker were Felix, Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, and Madueke, and then our striker Nikos Jackson. What do you think of the lineup?
I liked it. I was surprised to see Fafana on the right. Uh, there was talk that there was some knee issues before, and so I was pretty convinced that he wasn't going to play. But I'm glad to see him on the right, and it's just nice because Badiashile had a heck of a game,
Yeah,
so it's nice to kind of secure that defense side with Fafana.
yeah, I
I,
agree. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was also really happy to see Enzo, and not that super stoked about seeing Mato AK, but I thought he had a decent game. So I think it's fair.
He was a really good defender for Leicester City.
Yeah, he was,
No, but he
he
did
was
have a
active.
decent game. Yeah, he
Yeah.
he was taking on his man, creating
Mhm.
opportunities, making he was making all the right decisions, honestly, in the final third.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just we didn't really position ourselves in the best way to take advantage of his crosses from the right wing. Um,
Yeah.
but I think he still did a really good job. But
Should have probably scored also that chance that Nico gave him. What a ball.
yeah, oh yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
that.
Oh, amazing ball from Nico Jackson. I
That was a
forgot about that.
beautiful
That was
ball.
at
Yeah.
was that to make it 3-0 or to make it 2-0? I can't remember.
I think it would have been two
Yeah, I think it was we
two
were only
zero.
1-0 up at the time.
Yeah. Mhm.
Amazing run from Nico Jackson on the break, from a corner.
Mhm.
And that's the thing about the Chelsea team is we're really good on the break, really good
Yeah.
counterattacking. We need to be a little bit more clinical. That's how we did it against
Yeah.
Wolves and Brighton. We were very clinical on our counterattacks, but this game we've been lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
But Nico
I
Jackson, amazing. He's someone who actually got the ball, passed it over to Cole Palmer, I believe. Cole Palmer sends it to Nico Jackson as he's racing forward, and he sees Madueke on the right wing. Beautiful center, and honestly,
Weak foot.
it was weak foot from Madueke, weak foot from Nico Jackson for this cross, and weak foot for Madueke. But I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Madueke should have scored that. It was a little difficult because it was kind of high, and it was a little bit behind him, so he kind of had to adjust his body. But I don't know. I feel
Mhm.
like 9 times out of 10, you're scoring that in training easily.
Yeah.
The keeper
Yeah.
was beat already, basically, so
Yeah, and just like a Premier League level player needs to be scoring that.
I agree, but
So
I still
he did
think,
well to get there and all that stuff.
yeah, no, everything else was great. I mean, it was a difficult
Yeah.
chance, but still, I
Yeah.
feel like if you improve on that, that's the tiny things that we need to improve
That's the
on that will
difference.
make us title contenders.
That takes the doubts away from Madueke. He's scoring those chances week in, week out. He literally goes from that the level he's on right now, which is I'd say maybe top 10 in the league, if that, as a winger, to probably top five, top
Right.
three. You know, he
Yeah.
gets into that just in terms of quality, he gets into that Saka sort of tier. You know, if
Yeah.
he's scoring those chances week in, week out, because he does get those chances, he just needs to be scoring them.
Yeah, and he's got the ability to take on anyone. He can dribble past his player easily, but
Hmm.
he that goal output is what's needed. I mean, if you saw Saka the other day, yesterday after our game,
Yep.
banger of a goal,
Yep.
banger of a goal. to
And he
give
does that week in, week out.
yeah, week in, week out. So that's what we need from Madueke. We need more consistency, and
Yeah.
we're not really getting that right now. But still,
Hmm.
all that to say, he had a good game. He
He had a
really
really
did.
good He did, yeah. I was
But
happy with him.
Nicholas Jackson,
Jackson.
what'd you think?
What a what a
What'd you think of the
beast.
goal?
I love that guy. I heard that Enzo Maresca really loves Nico Jackson, and I can truly understand why. Ever since he came to Chelsea, he has been just working and just wanting to be scoring and just be successful. But he's not selfishly doing it. He's doing it for the betterment of the team. He keeps that pressure on himself to perform week in, week out. And at this point, he's gone from a player that people were completely writing off and saying he was a complete flop, right? To now probably one of the best strikers in the league. So I'm just so happy with Nico. I loved his blue hair. We had that blue
Oh yeah,
mohawk all around his hair, and now with the buzz cut, I just love him, man. Honestly, I'm so
he
happy for him.
he bleeds Chelsea. I mean,
He
remember when he
does.
first came, he said, "I don't want to be the next Drogba,"
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's like, "I'm my own person," but he's
Yeah.
still gonna mimic his game. He's got his goals were, I want to make sure that I hit Drogba levels in my very first season. I want to match him, and he did.
Yep. And
Beat
he
him
did. Yep.
for Premier League goals, for goals in all comps, for goals at home, goals away.
Yep.
So he's hitting the goals that he's setting himself up for,
Yeah.
and that's
And
you
this
see that he
is
set himself up. He's like, I want to be better than Drogba. He doesn't want to just be Drogba. He wants to be better than him.
Yeah, and this is his second season. Like this is only his second season in Chelsea, second season in the Prem, and he's been
Also,
that good.
it's only his second and a half season, I guess, in
Mm,
senior football, and that playing as a striker. Because
right.
at Villarreal, where he came from, he was playing more of a winger,
Yeah.
and then the last third of the season, he was playing as a striker, and that's where he got really
Right.
good output. And
Yeah.
so for him to come to the Prem and do that immediately and improve on that first season into this season, it's amazing.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
comparing him to Drogba, like we were talking about, that goal he scored, prime Drogba. The way
Yeah.
he bullied his defender, like he was just a
Sticky
hassle to
icky.
deal with. Yeah, he was sticky.
Hmm.
He was
Yeah.
sticky. He was
Hmm.
just on him like glue and did not let him go. And that's what you need. You need to try and fight every ball. And he tried and tried and tried and got it, headed it over to Enzo, maybe by accident, but still, also good on Enzo to be up there with him
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
support because no one else was around him. It was just Enzo that came up
Yep.
for support, and then Enzo just passes it to him, and that touch from Nico Jackson, that
What a
touch
goal.
was beautiful. It was,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
finish,
Hmm.
prime
Top.
prime Drogba
Top.
outside of the
Top.
boot. Oof.
While it's moving in the air, keeper
Hmm.
rushing at you, defender on your shoulder. Dude, I'm so happy with him. And like you said, he's someone who doesn't give up, right? Like that grit. He always
Yeah,
has it every game. And even when things aren't going well, I mean, there's only a couple of games, maybe like literally I can count on the fingers on my hand that he has had a really really bad game where he's just you don't see him really. One of those was probably like against Arsenal, and honestly I can't really remember another. So that just tells you how good he's been and how persistent he's been on not being successful. You know,
hmm
I'm happy for him because he got so much stick. He was one of the most targeted players last year in the media, and now he just shut up everybody up. Literally shut everybody up. Go find something else to talk about.
now they're adoring
Nico
him.
Jackson is probably better than your striker. Sorry,
Definitely better. Unless your name is Holland, he's better than your striker.
legit, legit.
And who can score a hat trick against Spurs and who can't?
LOL, LOL. Easy.
Yeah. But more on Jackson. He's been directly involved in the joint most goals, which is 7, in away games this Premier League season. And as well as on top of that, he's been the joint top scorer on the road, 5 goals and 2 assists. That's coming from Opta Joe. Away player. That's amazing. That's what we need.
Yep.
Away games are difficult. And for us to be
Yep.
having a player that we can rely on to score goals and assist in away games is huge. It is huge.
Yeah, he doesn't care how he has to impose himself, he just does it.
Yeah,
He
and
it
like
doesn't matter if it's ugly or not or whatever. Even though he
mhm,
has cleaned up his game, right? Like in last year, you saw he was a little bit uglier on the ball and just like not clean on the ball
mhm.
with his movement. But now it's like it's so clear what he wants to do before, and he just has that vision when before he receives the ball and he goes for it. And he has obviously a lot more confidence, so it's just coming off. Everything's coming off a lot cleaner, a lot better. Freaking beast, man.
I mean, what can you say? I love him. He's amazing. Nicholas
Yeah,
Jackson.
I'm so happy like that he's our striker because, for example, there were so many other choices and I didn't even know much about him, but I mean,
Same
I'm happy we took that chance, right? And I mean, it goes to show that there's gonna be risks with this
model.
Igbali.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. But for example, like Mudryk, right? Yeah, he was super expensive, but they're kind of the same. They have like the same experience type of level, right?
Yeah.
Like they both don't have a lot of senior games. They both have very minimal goal contributions in senior football, all this stuff, but you can see the promise in there, right? And you're just hoping that they keep going with it and they take it with full confidence. And I think comparing them too, right? Nico Jackson has really just taken it and grabbed a hold of it. Whereas Mudryk, it's like, do I have it? Do I not? You know, but I'm glad to see that at least, of course, a lot of those transfers work, but at least that Nico Jackson one has been super amazing for us.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it. A lot of us were upset with the way Taboli and Igbali started to run this club, buying all these players
Yeah.
for expensive amounts. You got
Mhm.
Mudryk, Enzo, Caicedo, Nico Jackson. Even though he wasn't that much, he was still a lot
Yeah.
for an unknown player. Cole
Mhm.
Palmer, a lot for a player that's played 2 senior games in the
Matches.
Premier League or
Yeah.
something like that. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of these people that we're looking at, we're like, "Why are you hiring or why are you buying these players? There's no point. Let's go and get the tried and true. Let's go get the awesome hand.
Mhm.
Let's go get, Rice instead of Caicedo." Like, all
Mhm.
these players that are
Right.
tried and true, but instead we're going for the other option because that's what we've been
Right.
wanting. For years,
Yeah.
we've been asking for that. Let's not go for
Yeah.
them because 'cause we're spending 100 plus mil. Let's go and
Right.
get the younger players that can set us up for the future, and that's what they're
Right.
doing, and now we're finally seeing the fruits of their labor. We're
Yeah.
seeing all the progress that they're giving us. We're
Yeah.
seeing that it's been only 2 years since they've come in, actually 1 year, this is only their 2nd season where all
Right.
these players are playing together.
Right.
Just imagine next year and the year after that, especially if we stay with the same, coach.
Like core. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and the same core, yes.
Mhm.
You can already see we're fighting for the title. If I
Legit.
mean, we're fighting for the title of the season, honestly. 9 points away
Legit.
from Liverpool, that's only 3 games. 3
Mhm.
games. There's and we already played
One
them away,
Yep.
so there's a
One
six-point game
from
at home in the second half of the season, and anything can happen. One little injury from
Oh, that's
someone or
right.
anything. I mean, you
Right.
can see it. Just City 5 in
Mhm.
a row in all comps.
Mhm. Yep.
They've lost, what, 3 in a row in the Prem
Yeah.
and getting battered.
They're
And
getting
so it just
destroyed.
shows that anything can happen.
Yep.
And 9 points is not much. It
I mean,
really isn't.
Eric Ten Hag said it, right? Eras have to come to an end.
Arrows have to come to an end.
So it's looking likely. The only scary part is that Liverpool just don't seem like they're gonna let go of the gas at all.
Unfortunately,
But
they
City,
again beat
I'm so
Southampton.
yep, 3-2. Dude,
Yep.
did you see the penalty they conceded at the end? Like
No.
Southampton, they gave him a goal. They literally gave him a goal. They crossed the ball in. I forgot who it was. He was from the right side, and the substitute that came in for us is when we see a sub come in, they always score if it's playing against us. When I see a sub coming in against like
Other
another
team?
top six side that I want them to lose, they they mess up. They give him a goal somehow or whatever. He literally they cross the ball and it like bounces right before it hits him, kind of. So
Mhm.
he like jumps to try to like stop it. It was a weird ball. He jumps to try to stop it, and it hits like right here, and then it hits him on like on the arm. But
Arm.
like so, like both of them were like even this one was maybe a handball, but then that the next one was definitely a handball.
Undoubtedly a
But
handball.
literally, that's it. And then
That's
Salah scores.
unfortunate. But,
Yeah.
hey, you can't keep up that form forever. You really can't.
You can't. You can't. But I don't know, dude. They look. They look
I know,
determined. They look
they look
motivated.
amazing, they look the real deal, and this is their title to lose, honestly.
Yeah,
You've been in
legit.
first place this whole season. This is their title to lose, and that's the thing, though. Liverpool are used to chasing. They're not used
Yeah,
to staying on top. Are they gonna
yeah,
have enough power, enough, of,
composure.
composure, yeah, to stay on top, to stay ahead by 9 points? You know, one
Yeah,
tie, you drop 2 points.
handle the
Another tie,
pressure.
you drop 2 more. They don't even
Mhm.
have to lose. So, I mean, today they struggled against Southampton. Yes, it's away, but still they struggled against Southampton. So there's still hope. There's still hope.
Yeah, yeah, and they've been down twice at Anfield. One of them they lost to Nottingham, and then the other one they barely came back, and I think it was against Wolves.
Wolves, yeah.
Not barely. As soon as they turned it on, they turned it on. But
Yeah, but still.
um, yeah, you've seen them go down for a good 60, 70 minutes of a game
Yeah. I mean, we're more title
constantly.
contenders than Arsenal are,
Oh yeah, 100%.
even though we are
Arsenal,
tied on everything except for, even goal
oh,
difference, but we have more
even
goals,
goal
so
difference.
that's, yeah, that's the tiebreaker now.
Nice, nice. I thought it would come down to like the alphabet.
No, 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 no.
Chelsea, Arsenal. That would piss me off.
Arsenal would have been first.
That's what I'm saying.
But Nico Jackson, amazing. But let's talk about the person who assisted his goal. And
Mm,
who better than talk about him than you, his number one fan, because you've been waxing lyrical about him since,
yeah,
I don't know, since a month or 2 ago. You've just been
yeah,
praising him, and I see why.
man. Yeah, I'm honestly, it just annoys me to see how much hate he's gotten, and it's not just hate, right? It's like it's kind of like how J. Cole says it, right? Like a guy will really come up to me and act like I don't do it to the level that I do it, right? So that's why I gotta do it to the level that I do it, so that you can see that you can't do it to the level that I do it, and say, "Wow, that guy did it how he does it now. I'll never be able to do it like that." That's
Crazy.
Enzo Fernandez. I love him, dude. He's a freaking beast. Like since he came to Chelsea, you saw it. He started assisting Havertz with those chip balls. He started doing this and that, and then he had a little drop off moment where we had a change of manager and we weren't sure if the system could benefit him or if he could adapt to the system or just be, impose himself in that. Now we're seeing we score more with Enzo Fernandez on the pitch.
It is true.
Enzo Fernandez is an attacking minded player. If you saw the Argentinian run that they had when they went 36 37 games unbeaten, right? Before they tied Italy or before they tied that same record that Italy had.
Right.
Um Enzo Fernandez was at the heart of that team. He was the one that when things were looking rough, he was sprinting up the field, just starting counterattacks and making sure that every attack felt like you could score. Because there's a difference between going for an attack that you can hope for something and an attack that you're going for to make something happen. And that's Enzo Fernandez, man. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't care how bad things are. He wants to impose himself and make something happen. And I think that we don't have that in our midfield. The only player who's like that in our midfield is Caicedo, but he's like that defensively.
That's true.
He doesn't mind. He doesn't care putting in that tackle or that extra few runs, all this and that, because he wants to make that happen. Enzo is the opposite or the same, but for attack.
That's true.
And
I
I'm
mean,
just I'm just really glad, yeah, to
his
see him get
stats
that respect.
yeah, his stats for today's game or, yesterday's game was most ground duels won 9. Because I already told you this, but besides the goal and assist that he provided today, he would have still
Hmm.
been my man of the match. He was all over the
Right.
pitch, winning tackles
Yeah.
left, right, and center, and
Yep.
starting counterattacks like you were mentioning. He was starting counterattacks.
Yep.
He started that, Cole Palmer chance that Madueke blocked. Um,
Uh-huh.
he started that counterattack, by
Yeah.
winning the ball off of someone, quickly gave it to Joao Felix to Madueke and Cole Palmer, or to Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer, got it blocked, but
If
he go on.
sorry, sir, go ahead. No, go ahead, finish your thought.
I'm just saying, like, he was winning all his duels. Looked like Caicedo. He was
Right.
doing the job
Right.
both sides of the field and still being attack-minded. He also had the most chances created today or yesterday again, with 3, he had 1 goal, 2
Mm.
clearances, and 1 interception, and an assist.
It's beautiful.
It was
Beaut
honestly a complete performance, and
Complete
that's what you want from
performance.
your number 8. Maresca said it
Yeah.
himself. He's like, Maresca wants Enzo to get into the box more. and he said that goal would have never happened if he didn't follow my instructions to get into the box more. Because you're a number
Yep.
8.
Yep.
That's what you're supposed to do. We have the best number 8 in all of history with Frank
Yeah.
Lampard.
Yeah.
Just watch videos of him. Just show him videos of him. He
Literally.
was the prime example of getting into the box, arriving late, and scoring goals.
Yeah.
And if
I
he
think
can
I
replicate 10% of that, oof.
mhm. Yeah, and I think like technical wise, he's a see, I think that the game has evolved, in terms of technique. I don't not to downplay Lampard what he was able to do, but
Yeah.
it seems like Enzo is maybe cleaner on the ball, a little bit. Maybe not in terms of like his final pass, his final touch, his final action. He's not as clean, but I think he's probably a cleaner, tidier type of player than Lampard. That's my point. So yeah, if he can just get that 10% of maybe of what Lampard used to do goal scoring wise, he literally turns into a beast.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's something I wanted to say and it completely left my brain, honestly.
While you're
Um
thinking of that, I'll
yeah.
just bring up the fact that Mo Salah as a winger, he just hit a record for himself of the last 8 Premier League games, he's had 10 goals. The player that's ahead of him is no other than Frank Lampard. He had, I know, at least 10 seasons. I want to say maybe 11 seasons in a row where he scored 10 plus goals from your number 8. From
That's
your number
wild.
8. And again, just to reiterate how good Frank Lampard is, as a number 8, he's scoring 10 goals at least. That's not even including the assists. He probably had 20 goal contributions every single season for us. Now, if Enzo could do again
Easily.
10% of that, oof, that'd be
Yeah.
amazing. I mean,
And
10%
he's
is what, one goal, but you,
yeah.
you get my point.
Yeah. And I mean his assist numbers are probably better, you know? So like he's better at assisting. It seems to be something that he's taking pride in. He tweeted something and was like, if you need an assist, call me. And he put like the phone emoji. And I think
Divorce
the picture
Enzo
was
is
like
something else.
this. Dude, he's crazy. He's on a different time of time. I'm loving it, honestly.
Like,
Especially that cast. Oh, I love it. I love
oh
it.
yeah, yeah. But honest, I mean, him as a person, I can't agree with him. You have a wife and kid. Me having a wife and kid, I could not just leave and be like, "Oh yeah, let me be single. I want to be single. I live in London. I want to
That's
party
pretty
all the
crazy.
time." That's insane. That's an insane
Yeah,
thought.
that's insane. That's
But
why you stay single until you're ready,
yeah,
right? For that. So
figure out your life first. But hey,
yeah. To each
but
his
now that
own.
he's single, the dude's been killing it. Dude's been
He's
killing
been
it. He's
killing it.
got in his last 5 games for Chelsea, he has a goal and six assists for Chelsea and Argentina combined. He had the 3 against FC Noah, 3 assists in
Mhm.
45 minutes. Then
Yep.
he had the assist against Arsenal, and
Yep.
then he had an assist for Argentina,
Right.
and then he just had another assist and a goal for against Leicester City.
Chelsea.
Yeah, he's been killing it. And
It's funny because the theme this week with Enzo was Enzo is back. And I don't know where that started from. Maybe it's because there was rumors that he was going to be back in the starting lineup. I
it
don't
was
know,
from
but
you.
he tweeted it. He also tweeted it. He also tweeted or put it on Instagram. He put it on an Instagram story. He put a picture of him training and was like, "I'm back, baby," and then put like a tongue out face or a winky face. He put a winky face.
He's so ugly.
Dude, he's on another time right now. I'm happy for him, man, because also just for Chelsea in general, because Maresca, I feel like maybe overthought that like Lavia Enzo thing, or just in general that midfield pivot. But I think it's so clear that Enzo is the man to build with. You know, I saw rumors that he was maybe going to Madrid, or that Madrid maybe want him. Um, that scares me because I think if we get rid of Enzo, we go down a lot in terms of quality as a team.
It's shown, like you said, we score more when he's on the pitch, when
And do
he's
you
playing.
remember before he came, like right before he came, I can't remember if it was Potter or who was his first manager. Do you
Potter,
remember by chance,
Potter.
Potter? Yeah. So before he came, dude, we were so stale. Like it was so bad. There was
There
like
was
you
nothing.
could see there was nothing. There was no over ball, no through balls, no nothing. Enzo came. I remember. I think it was literally the first game, and he just like impacted the game directly
Mhm.
with just his passing, and it was ducking amazing. And right away, people were like, "Yeah, this guy's class." And I'm happy because I don't know how people started doubting him. I truly don't know how. I feel like I've never doubted Enzo. I've always been able to
You
see how good
you
he
really
really.
haven't.
Yeah, he's a freaking beast, bro. Like he's young, he has that fire about him. Like Liche Martinez,
Mhm.
another Argentine. I That fire that they have that they play with, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. You There's something about being able to bring that out every single game, no matter who opposition is, that I love it. Especially for my team, I'm like, heck yeah! I know he's gonna. I know he's willing to fight every day. I know he's willing to fight. It doesn't matter,
Mhm.
and that's literally all I can ask for because mistakes are gonna happen.
You
So
can see it too throughout the whole team. I mean, you got Caicedo. Also, he bleeds that. He bleeds blue. He bleeds just wanting, not just for himself, but for the team, to sacrifice as much as he
Mhm.
can. Minute 95, 96, he's played the whole time. I'm not talking about this game, but just in general. And he will track back from a corner all the way to stop a counterattack or whatever. We've got Nicholas Jackson was a prime example. He did that last game at minute
Yeah,
93 or 94. He was tracking back all the way. Um, he's the one who blocked a shot or took it away from a player to send it over to a corner for Leicester City. You're getting that from your striker at
yep,
minute 95?
that's
And I know we
awesome.
talk bad about Madueke, but like you mentioned before, defensively, he puts in a shift.
Yes,
He
he
puts
does.
in a shift, and it's so difficult to get a winger to wanna
Mhm.
defend, and he's been a
Yeah,
really good defender for us,
yeah. And
honestly.
you remember the narrative last year was like he doesn't track back. This guy doesn't come back.
Mhm. Or
He's
Sancho
not great
too
at
from
moving.
United,
Yeah.
fans. "Oh, Sancho doesn't track back, good luck with him." First 3 games immediately, all we saw even the first game, he was tracking back immediately, trying to
Mhm.
win the
Yeah.
ball back.
Yep. And
And
you can
Cole
see it as
Palmer
soon as
too.
he was.
No
Yep.
one no one is
Yep.
excluded out of this list. Cole Palmer too, he's our star boy of the Premier League, best player in the Premier League, hands down, and he's still going to track back minute 90, 95. Like,
Yeah.
it's beautiful to see. That's what you want from
Yeah.
all your players is that togetherness and willing to fight for the ball every single time, no matter what minute it is, no matter how tired you are. You want that from your players, and
Yeah.
only good things come from that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like anytime that you defend alone or even just not united, like you're bound to get punished. And
Yeah.
so that's one thing that I'm really happy with Enzo Maresca. He doesn't allow excuses for that, right? Like
Mhm.
Joao Felix came in, started his first game ever, and he put in a defensive shift.
Yep.
He had a lot of ball recoveries, interceptions, duels, won, um, and he's someone that people say doesn't like to defend, like literally.
Mhm.
And I'm just, yeah, this team seems to be the discipline is there, right? The foundation is there. And I think that's something that we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. It's like maybe not raise the roof, right? But instead let's raise our floor. And
Exactly.
that's what it feels like. Like our floor is now better. It's more established. And when we go to a Leicester City away, an early kickoff, 7:30 a.m. at least for us. Over there it's like noon, I think.
Yeah.
Um, you're not bound to slip up as much, right? And there were some stressful times in the game, especially towards the end, right? But you have that foundation. You can rely on that. You can trust it, and you can kind of be sure of it and relax and just play the game out.
Yeah.
And that's how you build experience too, and closing out games, all that stuff. All
Exactly.
these moments are very important.
And more on building or raising our floor, you saw that with Benoit Badiashile. He brought him in, a player that a lot of us have written off, especially I know you. I'm not saying I haven't because he
Yeah.
frustrates me too, but I know you've been
I
so
was
annoyed
critical.
with him multiple
Yeah.
times whenever he plays. And it's true. It's not without any meaning behind it. You've been rightfully so. He's been really, really poor for us
Yeah.
ever since he got injured after his first season here, half season.
Mhm.
We haven't seen that Badia Shield, that giant that
Yeah.
we've seen just dominate the
Yeah.
defense, yeah,
Mhm.
and today we saw it. He
Yeah.
was amazing defensively,
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
He shut up a lot of haters,
Yeah, he
honestly.
did.
He was shushing me today. I was
Yeah.
watching him, how composed he was
Mhm.
on the ball, how confident the long balls he was making. It wasn't just defensive
Good.
actions, he was making really
Yeah.
good, progressive actions,
Mhm.
like, amazing, and I remember, our, our sporting director's talking about him recently, saying that we have no plans on selling him. He's in our long-term plans because clearly they see our recruitment staff and our sporting directors, they see a vision. And I
Right.
mean that got a lot of players to come to us. They got Caicedo, Enzo, Felix, Nkunku, Madueke, Mudryk, all these players choosing us versus other teams that they could go to,
Wisdom.
even in our bad situation, because they say, no, Chelsea have such a good vision. They sold me the vision. They sold me the plan. They
Yeah.
sold me on that. And it's
Yeah.
just showing. I mean, Body of Shield, you trust him again after one game,
Yeah.
honestly. He can
Yeah.
go in next game, put in a shift, especially the way Maresca set them up was beautiful because he knows that we're going to be on the ball most of the time. Even away against Leicester City, he knew we were going to have 70-80% of the possession most of the time.
Right.
And he also knew that with Enzo being up further up, wanting him to be attacking the box, Caicedo was going to be left behind. One and
Mhm.
two, Caicedo just had a baby on Thursday
Mhm.
or Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was gave birth to his daughter Zoe, and immediately came back over here. So jet lagged and everything, and still started. So you know he's gonna be a little bit tired though, but he gets that dad strength. Shout out dads. Um, but you know he's gonna be tired, so he wanted a little bit more cover, and probably he wasn't planning on playing like this. But Reece James got injured, Malagusa was ill, so he had to put Fofana over a right back, and that
Yeah.
made it to where we had a three at the back most of the time. And so if
Right.
anything happened in the midfield where we lost the ball or in our final third whenever we're attacking and they start countering, you still had those. I remember seeing every single time we had so many players up forward, but we still had that back three and Benoit, Colwell, and Fofana that it did not matter.
That's
Even with
nasty.
Cucurella going up into his winger attacking
Yeah.
style minded player,
Yeah.
we still had those three in the back that gave us that security defensively. And
Right.
so that's amazing from Maresca just doing that,
Mhm.
knowing the type of different tactical setups we have to do.
Yeah.
Um, it's just amazing. And
It
Benoit
really
Badiashile, he registered more successful passes, 90 out of 101. That's 90%. More successful final third passes, 17 final third passes. More successful ball recoveries. He recovered the ball 7 times. And more successful interceptions, 4 than any other player for Leicester City or Chelsea.
what a beast.
It
What a
just says
beast.
it all for his performance.
I have to give it out to Enzo, right? Because I think we talked about it on our preview episode. We wanted to see something a little bit more free and different
Yeah,
from the last couple of lineups we've seen, and I think he gave us that, right? Not specifically where we wanted it, right? But we saw Joao Felix start. I thought that was amazing. I love to see that. I thought he had a pretty good game as well. And then Benoit Bereshile, right? Somebody who I thought honestly I was kind of writing him off
yeah.
for pretty much the rest of this season. And yeah, you kind of have to give it out to Maresca for trusting him and kind of going into that three at the back, right? That's a different sort of play style. And it's nice to be able to have that balance, even with our two right backs who have such tremendous qualities. So, like when we lose them, our quality should naturally drop, right? And yeah, just to know that my manager, my coach can figure out solutions like that. It makes me confident. It makes me happy and just satisfied, right? Like you go into another game next week. We play Villa, and you can feel good about what we're doing again.
Are we playing
Um,
home or away?
I can't remember honestly. Can't remember.
Let me
Should probably
check.
figure out pretty quick.
It's it's home.
It's home.
Another early kickoff though, 7:30, 8:30 your time, but it's on a Sunday.
Gate
Um,
clapping.
but we are yes, sir, gate smacking.
Gate
Um,
smacking.
but it is after a conference league game against FC Heidenheim away on Thursday,
Mhm.
which is in
Oh,
Germany.
okay.
So a little bit of a travel
Okay.
time, but still, like you're saying, I have trust in our team. I have a lot of confidence going against this Aston Villa, which Aston Villa is a good team, but
Yeah.
they've been in iffy form recently. I mean, they had 4 straight losses in all comps, and then just tied against Crystal Palace, which Crystal Palace isn't doing so well either. They had to
Right.
grab a goal back and to secure a
They've
tie, which is
been
good.
they've been they've been harder to beat, but they're not winning games. Crystal Palace.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, yeah, they've got 4 draws. If you turn those draws into wins, they'd be really good, but right now they're struggling, which is good. And I'm confident. I honestly don't see anything but a win. But I mean, we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about that next episode in our preview episode for them. Um, but I know you wanted to talk a little bit about Sanchez.
Yeah. Yeah, Sanchez, man, because I mean I've said it the past 2 weeks pretty heavily. I don't think we can be a top 14 with Sanchez in goal. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he has enough quality to at least get through the season. But honestly, I would really invest in January to get another keeper and a starting keeper for that. And I know that might be really hard and we might have to put some money down for it, but I think it's necessary. Because
Um,
even against Leicester City, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, you're saying we should invest in another keeper, which I agree that Robert Sanchez probably isn't the man for us. If you're not good with your feet, you should be a really good shot stopper. And
Yeah.
at times he is, at times he's weak. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be. He gets beaten near post,
He picks his
soft
time.
hands.
He picks his moments. What is
Yeah,
that?
and so sometimes he's really good, sometimes he's really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't see how he's shown enough for us this season that warrants him starting over Georgie Petrovic from last year. Why isn't he starting? Why didn't he play? We sent him out on loan, which I don't think we should have, and so I don't
Mhm.
think we need to invest. We have Georgie Petrovic, we have I forget his
He's
name, but
killing it actually. I think he has the most clean sheets in Strasbourg right now, in that league.
look at that.
Yeah. So,
Who's our other goalie right now? I can't forget his
Jorgensen,
name. Jorgensen.
Jorgensen, he's not good enough.
You
He's
don't
not
think
good
so?
enough. Nah, nah. You can see it in his shot stopping, especially, and he's actually decent on the ball, dude. I can't stand to keep hearing that Robert Sanchez is good on the ball. I can't stand to keep
And
hearing it.
I can't
I don't
stand
know why
also
people keep
wanting that.
saying it, huh?
I can't stand honestly, I can't stand coaches wanting that. I don't care if my
Wanting it,
goalie can ping a ball to the winger and maybe set up an assist every 10 games or 15 games a season.
right?
I want
Well,
someone that can block a shot, who's
yeah.
dominant in front of goal, who can stop one-on-ones, who can block goal penalties. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, literally, the only reason why they're doing that is so they can play out the back and so they can have like an extra man in the back. But even then, like, okay, I just think it comes down to how you deal with the pressure as a keeper. Because if you can't handle the pressure, even if you're good with your feet, think about somebody like Ramsdale, right? Like Ramsdale is pretty good. He's actually pretty good on the ball too, but he can't handle the pressure. When the pressure comes, he folds,
Yeah.
like literally. And that's the reason David Raya beat him to that spot. They say it's his focus moments and all this stuff. That's folding. That's called folding, right? When the pressure comes on, you have to perform. You have to get it right, and you don't. That's folding. And I think Robert Sanchez is a master of that. Like, dude, do you see his face when he decides like his passes? Like when he decided to give that pass to Caicedo, who got fouled, and then he got mad and got a yellow card for it because he like screamed at the ref or whatever. His face is just like he kind of smiles and he like looks around like he's lost.
Like he's lost. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he's lost. Like he doesn't know what he's doing there. Oh my god, I can't stand seeing that. Cause what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? You're one of the senior players, right? You're a keeper. That's your
True.
area. Okay, you have experience in the league. You were a really good keeper 2 years ago, last year with Brighton. What? Why can't you get that out of yourself? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess the shirt weighs differently or whatever, but he also doesn't seem like he can get it right. Like he can adjust and get it right. I haven't seen him do that. If anything, I've seen him start a game well and finish the game well the whole time, pretty much, right? But that's like a whole game. But if I see him starting out wrong, like bad, he's not going to get better throughout the
No,
game.
he only gets
He's,
worse.
if anything, he get worse. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's my worry. Like I can't have someone with that little mentality, honestly, in the game, especially someone who needs to be to making big blocks. Big. Did you see? I don't know if you were watching the United game today. First 10, 15 minutes, or actually, it might have been a little bit later than that. But anyways, they're playing Ipswich. They had a 1v1, like a toss up. Like they freed him up. 2v1. They gave the ball. Onana, huge huge save, and it's literally just because he believes he can get there and just puts his arm up, blocks it, beautiful, nasty. Like if I'm Ipswich Town, you know how hard I know that I'm gonna have to do something outrageous to score on this keeper.
Right.
Robert Sanchez, you never gives off that vibe, ever,
Speaking on
and
that,
I'm getting annoyed off him,
yeah, me
honestly.
too. I mean, Onana, like you said, 5 clean sheets this season, top goalkeeper technically. He's got the most clean sheets out of anyone else. Horrible United team. I mean, I know people say, "Oh, they're back." Uh,
Mhm.
you were saying, "Oh, look, Rashford is really good.
Yeah,
He's gonna score a hat trick," which you were almost right if they continued that trend for
how
the
they
next, I
started.
don't know, yeah, because they started great, scored in the first 81st seconds, but I told you it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And look at them, they finished 1-1 against Ipswich. They're not. It's gonna take a while for Amarin to instill his tactics and all that. I get
Yeah,
that, but
yeah,
I'm not scared of United. United are a History Channel team. They can keep talking about Fergie days, but that's past it. It's been 12 years. They're
yeah.
never gonna be that
What they
level
used to
again.
be.
They're just not.
You don't think
They
so?
everything about the club is just I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's like Benfica with the curse. They are just not. They're never gonna be at that level that they want to be. Honestly, they're really not.
that's sad. I think
It
that's
is sad
sad.
because they're a giant in the Premier League, but good
Yeah,
for us because, I mean, yeah, we draw them a lot and whatnot, but in terms of everything else, they're not someone to be scared of in this league
yeah.
at
No, no,
all.
no. Especially not this season.
No,
I
maybe
mean,
not even next season. It's just every time they get a new manager, oh, this is our manager. Every time they get a new player, oh, they're gonna change it. They're gonna bring us back to our glory days. Glory, glory, Man
yeah,
United.
yeah, yeah,
Glory,
yeah.
glory,
Oh
Man
no,
United. More like who the hell are Man United? They're nothing. I'm telling you, it's gonna be
yeah,
the same trend. Same trend. He's gonna
yeah.
come in. They're gonna have maybe a decent result here or
Mm,
there. They might win an FA Cup somewhere or a League Cup, and then that's it. The next year,
and that's
struggle.
it.
The year after that, struggle. And watch, we'll come back to this episode in a year from now. You're gonna see, or even 2 years, United are still gonna be fighting for Europa or fighting for Conference League, not really where they want because that's just who they are. And then cycle repeats. Unlike us,
Yeah.
where we changed managers all the time, we win trophies. For them, they changed managers all the time, no results, no
No result.
progress, no nothing.
Yep.
So I'm not worried about them. But like Leicester City,
Hmm.
if it was any other team, honestly, like you said with Sanchez, if it was another team today, they would have scored on Sanchez again.
Yeah.
They would have scored again because they did score on us, which
Yep.
isn't his fault. It was our defense. They fell asleep at the last minute. They should not be
Yes.
falling asleep like that.
Yes. But look at that. Look at that PK. Look at that PK.
Weak hands,
We
weak
can't.
wrists, weak
People will
wrists.
say, "Oh, maybe you don't get on servers." No, dude. Accountability is accountability. If you're in that position, if you're getting paid, like you said for Reece James this week, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Why? So that you can show up when you need to show up. What the heck are you doing diving like that? Like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, maybe that's a little bit harsh. Okay, because it is a penalty kick, right? You're bound to not block it.
Right, but
But like
if
you're
you're gonna
bound
get a
to,
hand on it
but if you're gonna block, if you're gonna do something, do it. Right? Like if you're gonna do something, do it 100%, right? Do it with 100% confidence and 100% like willpower. Don't do it to just do it. If he wants to just be in Chelsea and just have the shirt on, get him the hell out of there because there's no point. I don't want anybody like that. Look at Edu Mendy. He comes in for 2 years. 2 years, right? In 1 year, he wins the Champions League. He puts on the best defensive performance,
in Champions League history.
performances in Champions League history. That's somebody who said, "Nah, I'm here. I'm gonna do it.
Won the
I'm gonna
Golden
do it
Glove. He
100%,
was
and I don't
the
care. I
best
don't care if
goalie.
nobody knows me. Yeah, I don't care who's Donnarumma, right? Who's Courtois? Who's this and that? Who's Ter Stegen? I'm Andrew Mendy. Let me show you who I am, right? And he was the best goalkeeper that year in world soccer and world football.
Yep.
The fact that he
Eh,
didn't get the Golden Glove is beyond me, but you know what I mean? Robert Sanchez is a complete opposite of that. He looks like he's excited to be there. He's like not excited, but just happy to be there. That he's happy to put on the shirt and show his face on national television.
and that's it.
And that's it. And that's it. Right. And that's somebody who needs to get the hell out of my club because there's no point. There's
Yeah,
no point in you being there. So I'm starting to get really annoyed on him, honestly, and I would be really happy. I saw a rumor. Shout out to Football Therapy, Yannick Football. I watch you a lot on your podcast. Um, he was saying there was a rumor of 35 mil for Kelleher's for Liverpool's
I
backup.
remember that
That's
rumor.
been started a lot since Allison has been injured, and I think he's easily a better goalkeeper than
I'm
Sanchez.
taking
And
that
it's
running.
literally running with it, right? Because literally, I don't know if you watched the halftime podcast last episode, but we were talking about Sanchez. And I was like, Kelleher's is better. Like I
Mhm.
told I was like, Kelleher's is better. And he was like, no way, that's like bold, And I was like, literally watched him. Like you think Robert Sanchez is good with the ball? He's not. He's literally not good on the ball.
Mm-mm.
And you think he's good at shot stopping? He's not. He's not good at shot stopping. Look at all the goals he's conceded near post, all the PKs he's gotten a hand to it but can't block it. And then you think he's good at claiming, right? Like Lawan was like, what I loved is they wouldn't be able to claim, and I would see Brian's goalkeeper Robert Sanchez coming up big for corners
Yeah,
and
for
claiming
Brighton,
all
he
this.
used to do that.
Can't do it. Can't
Not
do
for
it for
Chelsea.
us. Nope. He decides when he wants to do it. He can do it. He decides when he wants to do it.
Yeah, it's like there's an on and off switch with him. It's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
today
what
I'm
is
on, today I'm off."
That's
And
trash, dude.
yeah,
That's I'm sorry, but that speaks to me of your mentality and
yeah.
like your intention and what you're on, what type of time you're on.
And I think, like I said, if it was any other team, we would have gotten scored on more. But I think it
Yeah,
also says a lot about this Leicester City team and how Steve Cooper had them set up. The first 40 minutes of that game was just Chelsea all over. We should have scored a lot more, first of all.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Leicester City were absolutely horrible. There was no fight in them, and I know they're injury ridden and all these different things,
yeah.
but there was no fight, no desire. They weren't winning any second ball. They couldn't string together 3 passes for the first 40 minutes. Actually, they only played for 15 minutes of this game, and it was still a maybe 2 out of 10 performance,
Right.
and they were just so poor,
Yeah,
and
and I mean Winks going off injured.
yeah, that
This
hurts them,
game,
but still, they were
yeah,
just so poor. It speaks so much about how bad of a manager Steve Cooper is. I'm surprised they got him when they did.
yeah,
They get rid of someone like Enzo Maresca and bring in Steve Cooper that isn't gonna keep playing that same style of football. He's not the same
right.
manager. I mean, he was the worst manager of all time to ever keep a team up. Like, his Forest team was the worst team ever that actually stayed up. They were winning
Was it?
less than 1 point a game, and they somehow stayed up. That doesn't mean you're a good coach if you can
Yeah,
keep a team up like that, especially
he
with all
got
the signings
lucky.
they made. That just means you're lucky. Yeah, that
Yeah.
horrible coach. And I mean, Enzo Maresca goes to the King Power Stadium and goes back to it, back home, and gets his replacement sacked. It's like, no, we've seen it all. He's not good anymore. They sacked him this morning. Like,
They're like,
immediate
nah, nah, we
effect. Yeah.
confirmed.
They're
Yeah,
like, "I
that's
remember this Maresca, that's what we want. Let's go get someone like him." And there's
yeah,
rumors that Potter might be going over there, and I think Potter could do a job with Leicester City. He's a good coach. He wasn't up to the task for Chelsea and everything.
yeah,
It's like every bad thing that could have happened to this Chelsea team happened at the same exact time when Potter was here. But I think
yeah.
he can definitely do something with that Leicester City team because I mean, Leicester City are probably my second favorite team in the Prem. They, little
Yeah, yeah. Little,
underdogs and
yeah.
all that stuff, and so I like them a lot, and they definitely should not be where they are. They could
Yeah,
be
I mean,
so
you
much
you
better.
said it when they won the league in 2016. You were like, they're not going to be a championship team anymore. Like
Mm-mm.
they're going to be a Premier League team, like mid table, maybe low mid table, but they're going to be a Premier League
No,
team.
I even said
And
they were gonna be fighting for
I was going to say that.
Europe,
I was
and
going to say
they
that.
were
Yeah,
fighting for Europe. I If
yeah.
it wasn't for Brendan Rodgers for some reason being so bad on the last 3 games
Hmm.
of a season, every season where they choke, they would have been in the Champions League and not us. But either way, they were fighting for Europe every single season, and then
Right.
something happened. They somehow got
Something went wrong.
relegated. They should not have gotten relegated, but came straight back
Hmm.
up. And I'm telling you,
Hmm.
they deserve to be in the top 10, and they will be. They will be. Maybe not this
I
season, but
hope
they'll
so.
stay up.
Yeah,
But next season, they're gonna be back in the top 10 because
yeah.
they're a really, really good team, good history, good
I
everything.
think they need to kind of raise their floor, kind of like us,
Mhm.
because they built that establishment, like they had themselves established, and then when they went back down, I feel like they kind of just focused on getting back up, on
Yeah,
like not staying down,
yeah,
um, which it's good short term, right? But long term, it hurts you because then what happens when those things do go wrong? Then you haven't
right.
really fixed the root, and
Yeah,
yeah,
they need to figure something out, but, I'm not gonna go 50 minutes into this episode and not talk about that red card, or should have been red card
yeah,
from Ndidi.
yeah.
I can't say it enough, and everyone talks about it, and every team feels done wrong by the refs, but it's because the refs are just bad. There's not even
Yep.
bias anymore. They're
No,
just
it's
so,
just
so,
obvious now.
so bad, and
Yeah.
they just wanna protect each other. Like, you're gonna tell me you have VAR, you go to VAR, and you see how high his leg was up on his Achilles, studs up from behind, nowhere near the ball, and you're not gonna give a red. How are you gonna look at that and say, "You know what? You're right. No, it was just a yellow." I don't
No,
care if
he's
it's a
fine.
clear and obvious error. It is a clear and obvious error. That
Mhm.
is a clear and obvious error. You have studs up from the back on
Mhm.
someone's leg or Achilles heel, nowhere near a ball. The ball was way gone before him, and you're not gonna
Yeah.
get that right. It's just, "I wanna protect my mate." These refs are horrible. They are
No.
absolutely horrible.
Yeah, they're trash. I mean, dude, like if Joao Felix puts his leg down, plants his leg, he probably breaks his leg.
It was
Literally.
yeah.
It was that bad. And I mean,
It
it's
wasn't
just
yeah. It wasn't just one instance. There were multiple
yeah.
this game alone
Yeah.
that there should have been a couple
The
reds.
one on the one on Cole Palmer.
Again, the other one
Yeah,
where they try
exactly. The
to
other
yeah,
dude, it's
another red card instance. It's just they were out to injure us, and the
yeah.
ref never took control of the game.
And
And
I think Maresca said it best in his press conference. So he said that the Ndidi challenge, he thought it wasn't a red card, right? But he thought that the Liche one was. And he says the way he likes to put it is the intention of the challenge, right? Because everybody can make a mistake and instead of get the ball, get you. Which it happens, right? And I get that. But when it's ill intent, when you want to hurt the player rather than get the ball, that should be punished, right? And that should be punished differently than when you just get the player accidentally. And he said that the Liche challenge looked like there was more ill intent, and that the Ndidi challenge had less ill intent, and that he knows Ndidi, he would never do anything like that, blah, blah, blah. I think literally opposite. I think Liche slipped and said, I'm going to make sure I foul him because if I don't foul him, he's gone.
yeah, but I mean, you
And
can't foul
and
someone
he
at the
caught
knee.
him.
You can't
No,
foul
of
someone
course,
at the
of
knee.
course, of course. I think he didn't. I don't think he aimed for the knee, though. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It
but he still
was,
got his knee.
yeah, yeah, of course. Whereas Ndidi challenged though on Joao Felix, that seemed like he wanted to go get him. Like
On
he
Joao
got
and
tackled
on Cole
before.
Palmer.
Yeah, he got tackled before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he gets up. His teammate misses a tackle, and so he has a chance to go and try to tackle the player, and he does, and he gets him with full force late. Just said, "Duck it, I'm going in there,"
I
and
wanna hit you.
nothing.
That's all it
Yeah, I
was. I
want to
just wanna
hit you.
foul you.
Exactly, I want to
Yeah.
hit you. Yeah, and it's like you said, studs up on the back of the leg on the Achilles. What are you doing, man? Like,
Mhm.
and it just goes to show because even commentators and pundits are like ridiculing now the refereeing
Which is
because
good.
it's that obvious. It's that
Yeah.
obvious. It's trash,
The
and it's
Premier
all
League
around.
yeah, the Premier League needs to do something about it. You can't be the best league in the world, which, I mean, I still think we are the
Yeah,
best league in the world, but the richest league in the world, and be having refs of that caliber.
yeah,
You have refs
yeah.
that are way better in the conference league. You have
Yep,
Copa
yep.
Libertadores refs that are way better, like and
And you
I'm
know
not
what?
trying to say anything bad about those refs because that's not at all what I'm trying to do, but it's that
Oh
these refs
yeah,
are so bad. The Prem can't have these refs be
right.
reffing the way they are. We have VAR, and it's still so difficult because VAR is not the issue. A lot of people hate VAR. VAR is not the issue
Yeah,
at all. VAR is there to help us, and it's just the user error. People our refs don't know how to use it or purposely use it wrong because they don't wanna
right,
make anyone look wrong.
right.
Come on, we can't be having red card offenses back to back to back games all
No,
the time
no,
and not be
no,
caught.
no.
Not be caught.
You
It's
have to.
ridiculous.
Your number one job is to protect the players. That's your number one job as a referee. Then it's to game manage. You know what I mean, and whatever.
Cole
But
Palmer
your
needs to be
number
protected more.
yeah, Cole Palmer needs to be protected. Joao Felix needs to be protected. Players that are gonna get tackled need to be protected. And Hazard needed to be protected,
Mhm.
right? And you can't wait for the action to happen so that to then correct it. No, you have to. That's I'm sorry, but pressure's on. You have to perform on the moment, right? That was a bad challenge, and that should have been reviewed and should have been said that it was a red card,
I mean, it was reviewed, but it's just
right?
they're
But it
just
wasn't
bad
a
at
red
their
card.
job. Yeah,
and I don't understand how that can keep happening. And it's not just us, right? Like you said, it's all the clubs. All the clubs feel like they keep getting it, like they've been done wrong.
because they have
And
been.
yeah, it's just it's honestly embarrassing. Like if I'm the Prem, like you said, richest league in the world, best league in the world, and your tech is trash, and your VAR. I'm sorry, not to say like VAR is trash, but you're not using VAR right. Your referees are trash. It's pathetic. And now you have your champion from the last 4 years, 115 charges on your head. Sad,
Premier League, get it
embarrassing,
together.
pathetic. Yeah, Premier League, get it duck together. You want to keep saying, "Oh no, we have to have English refs." Look at your English refs doing cocaine and all this stuff.
That's true.
Like, if you guys want to be for real about things, we can be for real about things. You know, stop trying to disguise all this stuff just because English tax and all this. No, no, it's not fair. And like you said, Copa Libertadores refs. What's wrong with the offsides system that they use in like Euros or World Cup?
The semi-automatic.
Liga? Yeah. What's wrong with that one? Why can't we use that one instead of the one that's
We were
being used?
supposed to. As of after the October international break, we were supposed to
Yeah.
have that. Originally, that was the plan at the beginning of the season. Then a month before the international break in October, or a couple weeks before, they said, "Oh, just kidding. We don't have it down right yet. It's gonna be a little bit later. It's not even gonna be until next season now." And there were instances in this game where both sides could have benefited from that. Maybe we weren't offside, maybe they weren't offside,
Yeah.
and they could have
Yeah.
benefited from it. And now you can't start it halfway through the season, because then it's like, well,
It's
that's
not
not
fair.
fair, because my last game where we didn't have it, it could have helped us out, and now this time they get to get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't understand. I don't know what's wrong with the Prem, but
There
they
needs to be the head of refereeing needs to kind of check itself out,
that,
analyze
and it
itself
needs to be an
out.
outside source. It can't be everyone that's involved in the ref world,
That's what I'm
all of them
thinking, man.
friends.
Yeah, like why it's kind of cultish, right? Like, and I mean the Prem honestly does kind of have that vibe to it, but it's like I don't know. You're refereeing if it's getting to the point where it's like you're losing credibility and reputation is losing face, you need to sort that out,
You
man.
need to
And
change it.
especially holding on to something like, oh no, they have to be English. That's like honestly, that's pathetic. Like we're in
Yeah.
2024. That's pretty pathetic in my
Bring
opinion.
in the best. I don't care where they're from. Bring
Yeah,
in the
bring in the
best.
best. Exactly.
Pay them
Bring
the
in the
big bucks.
yeah, exactly. Like it's the best league in the world. You want the best refs in the world.
And
I
it's not
think it
like they don't
only
even get paid well. They're over there going to Saudi Arabia, reffing other games.
yeah.
What is that about?
Who knows what that's about, by the way. There's
Man
a lot of
City
rumors about that.
playing
There's
for
so
their
many
owner,
rumors
or being paid by their owners to go to Saudi Arabia. Like, you're telling me your employer is like, "Hey, Guillermo, here's 500,000. Go to my house and clean my house." You're telling me that's not giving you favoritism, compared to other
right,
players or
right.
other people? Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably not the best example, but it's just, you can't be doing that. That's just
no.
ridiculous.
That's
And
bribing. That's literally
are you
bribing.
gonna do something bad against your manager now? If he gives
No.
you 500,000 to
Yeah,
clean his house,
yeah,
you're not gonna want to.
exactly.
You're gonna be like,
Yeah,
"He never did that. He never." You're gonna back them even more. Like, if
yeah.
you see something wrong in the workplace and your manager is probably talking bad about someone in front of their face, like, maybe he shouldn't say something like that, or should have
Mhm.
that conversation with HR in their room. Are you gonna
Yeah,
say anything? No, you're gonna be like, "I didn't hear it. I didn't see it,"
yeah,
because
yeah,
he gave you $500,000,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
The same thing with the
So
refs.
yeah, literally in media. So like let's say when you're like when you're writing a newspaper article or something like that, or just a piece or whatever, you're never allowed, even after you post a story, you're never allowed to take something from that person who you wrote the story of. Ever. Like you're not allowed to write to take cookies, you're not allowed to take money, you're not allowed to take anything. Why? Because it goes back to the fact that it just looks wrong. When somebody else comes into the picture and is seeing that picture of, oh, you wrote the story, and maybe you did nothing wrong. Maybe I just wrote the story about you, and you're like, wow, that's a really nice piece. Thank you. Like that meant a lot. Here's some cookies. You know, even if it's that, somebody can come in and be like, he gave you cookies, right? He gave you cookies. Of course, you wrote nice about him.
Yeah.
Or even if he didn't say that, I'll give you cookies if you write nice about me. You were thinking, oh, I have to write nice because then maybe he might do
Yeah,
something nice for me.
exactly, and next time you're gonna be like, "Let me write another nice article about him,
It's
because
literally
he's gonna
bias.
give
It's
me something
bias.
else." Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fraud.
It's fraud. Yep. It's fraudulent.
and
So
the Prem needs to
we
figure
need
that out.
we need to do better. We need to do better as a Prem. It's the best league in the world. We can give you crap for it, like crap, but it's the best league in the world. We watch it week in, week out, right? It has the potential to have the best drama in the world of soccer. So let's just get it together, right? Look
Yeah,
at yourselves a
drama
little
on the
bit
field,
and
not the
figure out
ref
how we
drama.
can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes, sir.
and it's like you said, the best league in the world with the best players in the world, aka Cucurella and Caicedo being the best players in the league.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Cucurella, like you were saying, they've been our best players this season.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously Cole Palmer and Nico Jackson are in there too, but Cucurella and Caicedo, every single game we get an 8 out of 10 from them. Nothing lower.
They're the reason why we've become a really hard team to beat,
I agree.
right? Like
We're establishing a good core.
before it was we'll score more than you, right?
Yeah,
Like those
yeah.
22 matches. And now it's becoming kind of like, okay, we also need to have a really good defense. And we have to be proud and have ego about the way we defend. I think Kuku and Caicedo bring out the best of that for us. And kind of get that out of the other players, around them. Because if you see Kuku or Caicedo putting in the defensive shifts that they're putting, you're not gonna want to put less than what you can.
They
It's good. That's
elevate
gonna
the
make,
level.
yeah. And they'll probably scream at you anyways and tell you off. So
Yeah.
you're probably scared to do that anyway. So that's really good from them. Honestly, I'm proud in a sense. Like I'm proud that they're embracing that. And again, right, like the Chelsea way, defensiveness, hard to beat, right. Really aggressive and just physical. And like if you're gonna score, you're gonna have to do a lot to score. And I think that's helped us out a lot because instead of having to score 3 or 4, right, we just have to score two or
Hmm.
three, and that's enough.
Yeah,
So
it's
shout out to
definitely
them.
it puts the pressure off of our offense to try and create something every single time they attack. I'm saying
Exactly.
that they shouldn't, but it makes it to where they're a little bit more comfortable. They can
More
just
relaxed.
play
Yeah.
their football more relaxed. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Caicedo and Cuckoo are just gonna take this team to a higher and higher level
Yeah,
every
man.
single
I
time.
love them. I love them.
There's only good things to come, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think all in all, away win, 3 points after an international break, early kickoff with players injured, players having long travel times and still playing.
Yep.
I don't think you can ask for anything but more. Like it's
No.
3 points, and we're sitting third now, 1 point away from Manchester City, reigning champions.
Yes,
One
sir.
point away,
4-time reigning champions.
four-time reigning champions, four in a row, 5 losses in a row. And 9 points away from Liverpool. I mean, it's a great season. We're
It's a great
almost a
season.
third of the way in
Yeah.
to
Let's
next
not
game.
let's not get too giddy because how many other teams have 19 or 22 points?
There's two other teams, Arsenal and Brighton, with 22 points. Arsenal again tied with goal difference, and Brighton with +5, so 4 less than us, but 22 points. Then there's 1, 2, 3 teams below us: Spurs, Forest, and Aston Villa
How
with
much do they
19
have?
points.
21? 19?
19, yeah. So
Okay,
there's
that's
three
nice. Like
three
3 point gap.
point buffer, but still, I mean, one loss and
A
they
game. Yeah.
win, boom, they're
Yeah.
tied. Newcastle with 18 points, but they still have a game to play, so it could be 21 if they win. I believe they play
Right.
tomorrow
Tomorrow. West
yeah,
Ham
against West Ham.
should win.
And then Fulham, 18 points, still only 4 points behind us, sitting at 10th.
Say that
Um,
again.
Fulham with
Sorry.
18 points, sitting in
Okay.
10th, so 4 points behind us.
Nice.
Brentford, Man United, Bournemouth
A little bit ahead of
follow us. United at 12th, 0 goal difference, 4 wins, 4 draws, and 4 losses in 12 games. Balanced,
four,
just
four,
like
four.
everything should be. Um, they're just they're bad. I can't say anything
I thought
worse.
that would win
I'll be
today.
United's
I
number one
thought it
hater now because I used to respect them, but now they're just trash. Um, and in relegation, we have Ipswich Town,
would.
Crystal Palace, and Southampton. 9, 8, and 4 points respectively.
Surprising to see Crystal Palace all the way down there, man. I feel like they've been a hard team to beat this year. Like I said, I mean
Uh,
we tie them, right? I feel like we tie them.
At
I'm pretty
home.
sure they tied or beat United. They tied another big team as well. So like they've been hard to
No,
beat.
they beat Spurs because Spurs are trash.
They beat Spurs. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
They're
By the
so
way,
bad.
that game. Madison,
The little chick.
he's disgusting, dude. He's nasty.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
nasty. Who was it that should have got him? Was it United? It was United that should have
I
got
think
him, right?
United was trying to go for them.
Was the yeah, they were the one that were gonna get him,
Yeah.
dude. This is why United's not good. This is I've said it. I said it to my friend the whole time. I know we're getting a little off topic, but I said it to my friend the whole time. I'm like, y'all used to have big names. Y'all used to have players that other players were scared of playing. And he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm like, dude, when you saw Cristiano Ronaldo, Nani, Rooney, Van Persie, like just that, you're that defense is pooping themselves. Like if I'm that defense, I'm pooping myself. Going up against Rooney and Ronaldo,
Jeez.
just that. Like, what can you do? You know you're bound to get scored on at least twice.
Now you go against Anthony.
Now you go against Anthony and Sancho, right? Like not to diss on Sancho, but somebody who was supposed to be like that gets binned
Gonna
off in the
perform at
first
United.
three
But it's
months.
just again, that just shows it's United. It's not the players, it's United. They come
But
over here, they do a job.
they need to be signing the right players. Madison. Why did you not sign Madison? Why? Because he's gonna take over Bruno? No, you
No.
switched them in and out. That's all that is.
Instead they got
You're
Mason
gonna
Mount for
get top
65
goal.
mil.
Instead, they get Mason Mount for 65 mil.
But look, it doesn't matter how good Madison is. It doesn't matter if they won 4-0 at City away. Because they always beat City. Cities are easy team
I
for
love it.
City.
I love it. I
I do
love it.
too. But that's the only
That's
time I root for
hilarious.
Spurs because I don't want City
Yeah,
to do well either. But
yeah.
I'll also root for them because I know they're not going to do anything. They don't win anything. I don't care. Spurs are the worst team in the world. I don't
Literally,
care. I don't care how you perform. I don't care what you do.
so bad.
You're not going to do anything ever. You can
Yeah.
beat City twice in the last 5 games. You can beat them away at home 4-0.
Beat him in
You
the
have
Champions
great
League
players.
semifinal.
Yeah, you have Sexy, which is he's amazing,
Sexy.
but you
He's
have all
nasty.
these amazing players, but it doesn't matter because you play for Spurs. Spurs aren't going to do anything.
I feel bad in a sense, man. I will say I really do like their coach. Ange, he's cool.
Yeah,
He's cool
but
and I like how they play, but
yeah,
it's
but they're
Spurs. It's Spurs.
it's Spurs. Spurs are gonna,
Football
lads. It's
heritage.
Tottenham.
Yeah. Lads, it's just Tottenham. That's all I'll say.
Exactly. We don't got to worry about them. But
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up. Sitting
Yeah.
pretty in third place. I know it's
Yes, sir.
congested,
Yes,
and I
sir.
know we've got a lot of games left.
Mm.
December's always going to be a difficult period for Chelsea. If
Yeah.
we do well in December, it defines our season. If we do bad, defines our season.
Yeah. Sorry. Liverpool and City play next. So that's gonna be a big game. Next
That's
weekend.
we need them to tie
We need them to probably tie, yeah.
because if they tie and we win our game, we go above
Mhm.
City. We move to second ahead of them by 1 point,
And then
and
you're
then that
only
means we're
7 off
only
Liverpool.
7 only. But yeah, 7 points off of Liverpool. I mean, that would be the best scenario.
That would be great.
But
I'll
that
take
all doesn't matter what else happens in the table. We have to focus on ourselves. We have to win our games,
it.
especially at home. We've been struggling at home. We need to
Yeah.
win our games. So
Yeah.
that's just we need to win it. We'll talk about it
Mhm.
more in the preview episode. But sitting pretty in third place.
And been in third place.
It's
It
amazing.
was like you said, this could have been a banana peel,
Hmm.
right? So I'm just
We didn't
glad
slip up
that we
because we're
got it
not
over
Stevie
the
G.
line. That's we're Chelsea. We don't slip. We
We
don't
don't
blow away
slip.
leads. We're not
We have
Spurs.
one bad season. That's
We're
it.
bottom.
We're back.
We're back. Easy, dude. Big game next week. Villa.
Yep.
Have to win that and hope that Liverpool and City drop points.
Yep.
Right. And I mean, like you said, don't really look around us, but Arsenal is there,
Yeah.
Brighton is there. So just stay sharp, focus on ourselves, and focus on winning the next game.
Yeah. That's it.
So
3 points away from home. We did great. Let's go get more 3 points. But like always, I'm Pablo.
I'm Guillermo.
And I'm Chelsea till I die.
Chelsea till I duck and die, baby.
Come on, you Blues.
Let's go.